going to predict the future for you. Something I usually try not to do. I will do this for you, and it will come true. I'm almost certain about this. And this is something that will, if you follow my line of reasoning and come to the same conclusion as I am going to demonstrate to you, you're going to be in an incredible position compared to other people to take advantage of the future. And again, I'm an early starter, but I will put this here. This live stream will have me on record that I said this so that years from now, I could come back to this video and then play it on my live stream and then, but guys, look how ahead of the time I was. Because this has happened multiple times before on my other channels. But now I want to have this on this channel as well. I'll tell you what will happen. And I basically tell you what's going to replace books and online courses. Especially with if you guys are one of those people who is looking to write books on your profession or make online courses for people to come pay for, I will tell you what's coming next, right? Let's talk about gamification. Why do I want to talk about this to you guys? Because last stream I told you guys about the importance of creating systems and then how to do it, your work, and then how to constantly improve it 1% at a time until you're an expert. And then you have a complete framework with all the details regarding every step of the way, everything that you do, right? So I hope some of you have been convinced by that. However, on this live stream, I want to show how you could gamify your system. And why do I want to do that? Because here's an important difference between many people who are successful and people who fail. We all know about the importance of delayed gratification versus instant gratification. But let me be honest with you. For many people who are successful, it's not about necessarily the fact that they have delayed gratification. They have reframed the way that they look at things. They have created instant gratification, but they just have changed their goals. Meaning that while you are trying to achieve what they have, the reason that they have what they have is that they weren't trying to get what they have. They were just trying to be successful at the very step that they're taking. Let me actually make this more easy for you to understand and then try to explain to you where gamification comes into play in all of this, right? So if you're climbing a mountain and you keep looking at the peak and how far away you are from the peak, you are going to get exhausted much faster than somebody who's invested in the every single step that they're taking. This is why so many people who are successful, when they reach the peak of the mountain, they cannot stop, because the point will not be the peak of the mountain. The point is taking the steps. And that's why when they reach the peak, they just keep walking because they have become addicted to the steps, right? So the reason why so many people are successful is that they have turned delayed gratification to actual instant gratification, but they get the gratification from the work. What you need to do is be as obsessed with the process and the work as these people. And a lot of you are not. A lot of you, even if you want to get into this game and start working towards the business and create content to promote your business, you don't want to do it. You like the way the peak looks, you want to get somewhere else, and you're doing the work that you don't want to do to eventually get to somewhere where you like to be. But the way to get to that place that you want to be is to actually like the process and be passionate about it and enjoy it. And guys, it's not about finding your passion and then following your passion. Okay, that's actually often a recipe for disaster. Is to in fact, passion can come later. It's finding what works and then framing it, be able to look at it in a way that you will become passionate, meaning that you have to fall in love with the work. You don't have to first be in love with the work and then start working. You have to start working and then find a way to fall in love with it, right? And I have the way for you guys to fall in love with your work. You're welcome. I'm going to tell you what to do. So, if I told you that what you need to do right now to start a business and grow your, you know, consulting and eventually SaaS business, SaaS is software as a service, right? I will tell you this is the best way to succeed as business. And the way to get there is to start creating to identify pain, start creating preferably your own pain, trying to solve it, create content about solving that pain, finding a solution to that pain, get good at solving that pain, and eventually the vast library of the content that you have acts as proof of your expertise and at the same time your marketing arm. And then you start reaching out. You do reaching. So you need to fix a problem, create content about it, do outreach, right? At some points, you need to do sales and maybe even paid ads, not now, eventually, right? Build, create your have your first clients for free, learn from there, create testimonials from them, get feedback from them, use their testimonials as a way to get new clients with customer outreach, with more outreach, cold leads, warm leads, all of these. You know, all of this is a lot of work, right? Then eventually start charging money, then increasing the how much you charge, and then eventually turning your service into a software, which we'll get to, and then providing your software as a lead magnet, and eventually your software as a product, as a service that you offer, and your software will be related to the service that you offer. This is the way, right? So this is not maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. This is the way. This is the way to become successful at business if you're starting from scratch. If you already have a business, then there are ways to improve it. But if you're starting from scratch, this is the ultimate way. However, to a lot of you, that doesn't sound fun, especially because you're not going to see results for a very, very long time. And this is a key point because you would be able to sell to a lot more people, charging them a lot more money if you tell them this is going to be quick and easy, right? But I'm here to build trust with you guys. I'm not here to just sell, to just get your money, right? I'm here to tell you how it is. There are many people who will come out and tell you, hey, we have the secret. There is no secrets when it comes to becoming successful in business. All the information on how to do it is out there. And this is why there are a lot of lazy people who think that it cannot be the hard work that makes people successful. It must be some secret special sauce that these people have, that if I could just get it, then if I could, it's a cheat code that if I apply, all of a sudden I will become rich. And there are a lot of people who will feed into that. There are a lot of people who are dishonest and come tell you, like, yes, we have that cheat code. We have that secret cheat code. Just pay us thousands of dollars and we will give it to you. And then you will become very successful. There are no cheat codes. I'm telling you the hard truth because I'm trying to build trust with you guys. You will not see results for a very long time. Very long time. You building a brand, creating some trust, making enough content that actually starts pulling people towards you, it will take a shitload of time and it requires a lot of hard work. It would be easier for me to come and tell you guys I have the secret sauce, pay me $5,000 and I'll tell you that and you will be successful. Okay. And then if you come here in the live chat and you tell people like, guys, I bought this $5,000 course from Armin and it didn't work, I would just call you a hater and I could just ban you and be like, guys, don't listen to the guy. Like he's never been my client. He's lying, right? Right? I mean, I just got your $5,000, right? But I'm here to tell you the hard truth. This is going to be a lot of hard work, and you're not going to see results for a very long time, right? So this doesn't sound like fun. This doesn't sound like something I want to do. Just go make videos after videos after videos saying the first one got 0 views, the fifth one got 0 views, the 20th one got 0 views, right? I'm doing this for 2 years. I haven't had a single client, not even free. I'm offering my services for free. After 6 months, nobody is even taking me up for a free service, right? Like, that's hard. It's hard. The rejection is hard. The hard work with no results is difficult to accept. But you know why this is the way? Because it's hard. You should want it to be hard. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it now. Guys, there are no secrets. We live in the age of information. There is no special sauce. There is no cheat code. If it was there, if there was a cheat code out there, it would be public knowledge and everybody would be doing it. So every time when you start doing this and you realize, holy crap, this is going to take a very long time and I'm not going to see results for a very long time, you should be like, oh my God, this is good. Because that means that I'm doing the thing that so many other people won't because it takes time. So this shows that I'm on the right path. Because if it was quick and easy, then it could not be the way of success, or else everybody else would be successful. Okay? It's very simple logic. The trick, if it's difficult, if it's not fun, you have to ask yourself this. Why is it, especially a lot of you are younger, I know that. I've seen your demographics. Okay? So I'm assuming a lot of you are playing video games. So if I tell you to get off your ass and go get good at something and turn it into a service and sell it and start making content about it and post it on 6 different platforms, and you're like, I don't want to do that. Okay, if you feel like that, but if I tell you like, hey, I don't know, go play. What's the latest video games that people like? If it's Call of Duty or whatever, Assassin's Creed. That's what I used to play. If you want to play that, you don't feel any resistance. There's, I'm not blaming you. I understand that. Video games or scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, there is zero resistance in doing that. What's the difference? One of them is instant gratification, one of them is delayed gratification. Video games is instant gratification. Porn is instant gratification. You have been trained to go for instant reward. It's really hard to untrain that. And I'm going to say that maybe you don't even have to. Maybe the reason why some people are successful is because they get gratification out of actually finishing a job. So, if you have experience with video games, I want to change your framing of everything to see if you could get yourself to get some of that feeling when you're playing video games from doing your work, right? So let me actually, I have my, do I have to explain these terms? I'm just going to go with 4 terms, gaming terms. And if people non-gamers here, so because they're not very complicated terms. So I'm going to use, so look at this. Treating the business like a game turns far off success into daily wins you can see and feel. You replace vague waiting with clear quests, points, and rewards, so motivation renews each day. Okay. This reduces burnout because progress is visible now, not just someday. And your brain links work to immediate rewards. Okay. So I don't know if they're non-gamers here, but I'm just going to use only 4 concepts in winning in gaming. And that's bosses. I think people know what bosses are, right? XP, experience. Do you guys know non-gamers in the chat? Do I need to explain these to you guys? So bosses are basically, so boss and boss health points, right? HP. So boss is basically the big thing that you need to defeat to finish a level. The health of a boss is basically the red thing that you need to finish. The more hits that you give to the hit to the boss, when it finishes, the boss dies. And then we have XP, which is experience points. Whenever you're killing something or doing something, you get XP points in a game, experience points, right? And then we have tutorial island or a tutorial place in a game. So when you start a new video game, there's a place that you start where you learn the mechanics of the game. You learn what buttons you need to press to, I don't know, throw a grenade or take out your sword or climb something. So we call that, well, let's call that tutorial island, right? And then the only thing, there's so many video games concepts that I'm not going to go through, but the only other thing I'm going to use to make my point is skill trees. Skill trees is basically a tree, like the area where you can see the skills, the specific skills that you have developed in a game to be able to do certain things that you weren't able to do before. Okay? Easy. I know there are many non gamers here. I'm just going to keep it very simple. Does that make sense? Everybody on board? Right. So I promise you, this is going to make a lot of sense. Okay? So you remember, the people who make video games, they have mastered the art of creating systems that will keep you in the game, that will make you continue playing. Like the people who design TikTok, Instagram, they have spent a gazillion dollars to try to understand how human psychology makes them want to continue playing a game, scrolling through TikToks through Instagram. So even if we're not going to game or use TikTok or use Instagram, we could use the knowledge that they have to figure out how we could actually manipulate our own brains, our own mind, to get instant gratification from work that we are supposed to see the results of years from now, right? So when you're playing a game, if you see, I don't know, I killed this boar or something, I remember World of Warcraft, right? My XP just went up by 5 points. It shows up on the screen. And then even if you're not paying attention to it, the fact that that shows up, you think like you did something worthy of doing. Like it was just a goddamn board minding its own business, and you just killed it to collect some meat. But you hear the sound whoosh, because the meat just went into your storage, and then you see that number just go up, which is your XP, and then these numbers, these sounds, the fact that you know that the meat is right now there, or whatever the pelt is there, whatever, it just makes you feel like you're accomplishing something every single time that you do something, right? So what we're trying to do with our work is also that when I upload a video, when I finish a script, when I write a title, when I upgrade my system, when I come up with the better text to do an outreach to a customer, when I get better, when I figure out exactly how to help this client better, I want to see if I could capture certain things, capture that XP going up, right? In a way that I felt like my XP just went up. Or here's when it comes to bosses in video games, this is the key part, right? And this is the best way to frame your work when it comes to challenges that make you not want to work. Every time you're supposed to be working and you're not working, the best thing you could do is to figure out, like, look deep inside and figure out the exact thing that is making you not work right now, right? If you could identify that, that is the boss. See, like in video games, when we want to go to the next level or basically finish an area, we know that we have to find the boss of that area and go and finish it off. So we chase the thing that is stopping us from going to the next level. In video games, we have no problem with looking for the boss to go and kill it. But when it comes to our business or our work, that thing that is stopping us from getting to our next level, we avoid it. But if you could frame that, if you figure out what that is, that feeling, that very feeling, if you could identify it and then look at it and say, I actually need to chase the difficult. Whatever that difficulty is, I need to chase it. Guys, I promise you, this mindset will open so many doors for you, because this is the obstacle is the way. Whatever you think is stopping you from doing the work, that's what you need to chase. That's your target. So if you could figure out what that is and say, well, that's the boss of this level, then your mission for this level is to overcome that very thing that has stopped you from continuing your work. I hope you understand what I'm saying, because if you could frame it like this, then you will always be chasing the pain. The pain will not be something that will make you avoid the work. The pain will be your north star. The pain will be your compass, because that's the boss of that level. And every time you're making progress towards that barrier, that obstacle, those are the HP, those are the health level of the boss just being reduced. If you could somehow visualize this or put this in your system, and I will explain how, then, and as a way for your system, again, I will tell you how to do all of this with AI to demonstrate to you that you're making progress in this way, then it will be so much easier to just continue. Again, I am trying to capture the very essence of the way successful people have look at things and the reason why they're successful, and explain it in such simple ways for you guys, using video game and an analogy for you guys to just have that as a reference. So we mentioned XP, we mentioned bosses. Now let's talk about Tutorial Island. This is a very important part of this conversation. Like, when you start buy a video game and you start playing, you get dropped in Tutorial Island. Oh, let me actually respond to this. Tora is saying, good point, Armin. And also, I would like to develop a software. Oh, I'll get to that. Oh, yeah. Tora is saying, and I would like to develop a software to show XP bar filling up when reading or going to work or anything. Tree of knowledge. Thank you so much. Yes, Pedram. True. Oh, look at this. Somebody, Doomer. Who's this guy? Where is he? Doomer saying Armin talks with such confidence, having only 15 viewers, that even, okay, I'm not going to mention that guy's name, Adolf H wouldn't have spoken like that in Yahtzee, Germany. Okay, this is so good that he mentioned that, because that actually makes my point. With Doomer, with this channel is proof of concept actually. So first of all, I have other channels that have, with every with every live stream that I do, gets 20,000, 40,000 views every single day, right? But those are for a general audience talking about politics, right? But look how Doomer is trying to belittle the work that we're doing here. But I with this small channel have now more clients than I know what to do with. I actually just filled up last remaining spot that I have, because I was looking for a certain number of clients, and I don't want to add any more clients now, because I want to make sure the quality that I provide to my clients is good, right? And now I filled it up. Just yesterday, I went to completely filling it up with this small of an audience, because I've been telling you that if you build trust, people will see that, people will know you're sincere. And with such, let me tell you guys, I have a channel, right, that makes that every time I go live, my Persian YouTube channel, every time I go live, again, remember, people use VPN, so it sees it as being served to Americans and Europeans. I have between 20,000 to 40,000 views on every one of my live streams. Okay. On this channel, with every live stream that that finishes, I have between 100 to 200 viewers at the end of it, right? Once it all finishes. This channel is making more money than that channel with the clients that I'm bringing in. So that's how I know that this method works, because my YouTube channel is not about getting the maximum number of views. Oh, Doomer, you are, if you attack the other people on the chat, then you're gone. So look at this Doomer guy. So yeah, attack Torah. I'm gonna ban you, right? But these people are losers, right? Like, whenever, just remember that whenever you start building content, there, this is also part of the boss that I'm talking about. This is actually a good demonstration. Sorry, Tora, that he said that to you. I apologize. Again, if you want to abuse, if you want to attack me, you're free to stay here. But if you attack other people in the chat, then I will get rid of you, right? If people come, that's actually a very good example of what I'm talking about, right? If once you, if you're afraid of other people coming and making fun of you, because I promise you, when you start, you're going to have very, very few number of viewers, very few, very few. And but you still have to speak with confidence, because you're not confident because you have a high number of viewers. You are confident because you have seen that the solution that you're offering works, because you solved your own pain with that solution. And you're confident because you know that you're not lying to your audience. So you're confident about what you're saying. You don't need to be confident because you have a large number of big audience. That you just need to be confident in knowing that what you're saying is correct. That's your source of confidence. And also, if you struggle with when people come and try to attack you and make you feel bad, just remember that these people are suffering bigly. Okay, like, think about, you guys are here trying to figure out how to be more successful in your life. These people are spending precious seconds, like, when it comes to me, think about it. I value every second of my life, and I'm trying to make sure that I use it in the best way possible because I value my life. But think how low these people think of their own life, that they're using the biggest resource that they have, which is their time, to go and come and tell you that you're not important. Like, you don't need to think low of them. They think low of themselves. That's what they're doing, because they are suffering so much, and they are in such a horrible position that the only joy that they could experience is to come and make somebody feel a little bit more like them. And that's why you don't need to worry about it, right? But expect it. I want you to expect it. Once you start making content, haters will show up. It's natural, it's part of the internet. There are people out there that they are addicted to trying to make someone upset. That's the source of joy that they have, because they're losers themselves. But just when it happens, that's part of what I'm talking about. That's one of the bosses. Just see that as one of the, I mean, they're not that important to be considered bosses. They're probably one of the minions of the bosses that you just need to just go past. Right? So we got XP and we got the bosses, and thanks for that guy who actually came and provided an example of what I'm talking about, right? But now let's go to the concept of a tutorial island, right? So people who play video games, they know that when you start a video game, you go into this area, usually sometimes it's an island, where the game starts telling you this is how you throw an axe, this is how you pick things up, this is your inventory, this is how you access the map, just so that you could get the hang of things, and then you go to actually start playing the game, right? So if you have played a video game, you know that this part is boring and you want to get through it as soon as possible so you could actually play the game. But when it comes to business, a lot of people get stuck in tutorial island and they seem never want to leave. They just want to learn and learn and learn and watch another course and watch another YouTube video and read another book, because they're so terrified in actually taking action and doing the business that they just have made the tutorial island their home. You need to have the concept of a video, you need to have the framing of a video game, like the same motivation that you have in a video game. Every time you get put into tutorial island in a video game, you're like, oh my god, like, let me play the game. Like, how do I skip, how do I get this? You just, and here's one thing we do in tutorial island, right? We try to learn the mechanics of the game, and as even if we don't get some of it, like, it's fine, I'll just learn it through the game, I'll just figure it out as I'm playing. This is how we should think of a business as well. Just try to go through the tutorial island as fast as possible and get to the doing part, because you learn so much more by doing than by studying. Let me repeat that. You will learn so much more by doing than by studying. So just make sure you just go through, It doesn't matter if you learn everything. Just try to just really quickly skim through the tutorial island and just start playing the goddamn game. Do the actual business instead of studying the business. So, and the skill tree is self-explanatory. Video games do a really good job. Every time you do something repeatedly a couple of times, you get rewarded with the knowledge that you just now developed, and you unlocked a new skill on your skill tree, right? So, if you, instead of looking while you're doing the work, instead of looking at the peak of the mountain and trying to, like, when would I become a successful business person, let me actually tell you something. If you ask yourself, when will I become a successful business person, it will take longer, because you're obsessed with the peak of the mountain instead of being obsessed with the process. There's actually a saying. I think there was somebody who wanted to become a samurai or something, and he was talking to his master that how long would I take until I master this? And then his master said it will take you 20 years. And then he asked the master, what if I work extra hard and do double the work? And then the master said it will take you 40 years. Right? And like, what the hell? If I work extra hard, it will take me longer. How does that make sense? And like, well, because if you are the master was trying to explain to the guy, to the trainee, that if you're obsessed over getting to that final destination instead of actually doing the work, your obsession with the destination will make you miss out on doing the work properly, so it will take you longer. So if you're getting into this business and saying like, okay, what, how do I get to the destination faster? Because your eye is on the destination rather than the steps that you're taking, it will take you longer. Guys, these are really important things for you to understand. Like, I am giving you the exact tools that you need to be successful at almost everything. So the skill tree, this is where the skill tree comes in. When you are editing a video, look at this. Alice just said, I'm getting better at editing videos with DaVinci Resolve. That's a point for your skill tree. That's, if you see that, exactly, Alice. So instead of thinking when you're editing the videos, when you're making the videos, when you are improving your systems, instead of thinking like, when would I get to that destination, you have already reached the destination. The destination was to get better at this specific task. When you're on video number 10, so your goal is to eventually get, I don't know, 500 videos in your channel, right? Like, oh my God, when would I get to 500 videos? No, when you're on video number 10, you have already unlocked a skill on your skill tree. Because if you look at video number 10 and you compare it to video number 1, you already see some improvements. So that's a skill that you developed already on video number 10. That was the destination. That was the goal. You're already there. So now that we have this mindset, we understand this mindset. The next thing to do is to use AI to create systems for us. And if you haven't seen how, just go watch yesterday's live stream on how we use AI to create. I'm gonna give you a short explanation. But what was the stream from yesterday that we talked about 2 days ago? Oh, it was called Easy AI Hacks to End Repetitive Work, right? So that's about creating systems, right? So the idea is to just either document or record the works that you do every day in detail and give it to AI to create a standard operating procedure for you. And then the standard operating procedure will also include steps, templates, files that you need to use, references. Everything is designed for you to just have to follow every single day. And then you use your standard operating procedure to give to AI so AI could come up with suggestions on how to improve it. But at some point, when you have a system and a standard operating procedure and templates and the prompts that you use and the files that you use and all the text that you did, everything that you use, when you're happy with it, what I suggest you do is you start then gamifying your standard operating procedure, right? Meaning that eventually when you have like on ChatGPT in the projects area where you upload your standard operating procedure so that you have a project for on ChatGPT in the projects area, you will have a project for every main task that you do for every main project that you have, right? So for example, if it's the content creation, will have its own project, outreach will have its own project, anything that is important will have its own project, right? And then you will eventually create a standard operating procedure as a PDF, and then you will upload it in ChatGPT in the projects area. For each one of them, it will have its own SOP, right? But eventually, as you keep improving your standard operating procedure, you want to add things, lines in the SOP that makes it clear to ChatGPT to tell you the XP that you have developed, that you have gained at once you reach a level, right? For example, you're starting something, you start with ChatGPT, it already knows step one, two, all the way to step whatever it takes to finish the job. So as soon as you start, it knows that we're on step one, and then you follow the prompts and everything that you already pre-designed with ChatGPT on your side to go through every step with you. And then once you get to every step of the way, what it needs to give you a message for you to get the feeling that you would get if you were playing a video game and you did something that gained you XP. And then every step of the way. But once all the steps are finished, then it needs to tell you, give you a message that is supposed to give you the feeling that you would get if you're playing a video game when you unlock a skill set, depending on what it was. It needs to identify, okay, today we did this, and you probably got this much better at doing this because of what we did today. It needs to give you that message. And then every time you could include in your SOPs as you're going through a process with ChatGPT, it could ask you if you feel any type of resistance, or if there are any obstacles right now at this moment for you to finish what we're trying to do today. And if you answer that question, ChatGPT needs to be trained in the project, in the SOP that you have designed for it, to treat that as a boss, and basically come up with a way to come up with a health bar for it, and then take you through the steps into identifying the boss and then dealing with this obstacle and targeting it instead of running away from it. And guys, it gets so much better. You could identify levels, you could show that you're leveling up. Sure, you could do all of that, right? But let me actually now talk about something else and then connect these two for you with each other, right? So we have two different types of service based businesses that are really good for scaling and making a lot of money, right? And because the initial capital needed for them is very low, and also the capital for growth is low, these are the best businesses for scaling, right? They're usually not brick and mortar, because brick and mortar requires location, needs you to pay rent or buy a location, and you need to really hard to scale, right? But the types of businesses that they have good better profit margins and also they're easier to scale, they're usually service based. And a lot of people, when they wanted to start with service based businesses, they do consulting or certain coaches, guidance, um, which is basically could all be categorized under consulting, or it's SaaS, which is software as a service, right? So here's what I preach: is this is a principle that many people believe, which is called service before software. And guys, I promise you, even if you're not into building software, this will become relevant to you guys. Trust me on this. Wait for it, right? Let me actually tell you why this is going to be relevant for you before I go to the principle service before software, right? Because of AI, very soon, most of you will be able to add providing your own specific software along your services as a consultant. meaning that the bridge between the barrier between the difference between a consulting business and a software as a service business is going to get blurrier and blurrier and blurrier, and these things are going to merge with each other, meaning that you don't need to know how to write a single line of code for you to be able to provide the best software. And you need to start now, because as soon as this gets easier, many people are going to do this. And you need to do this now by making a software for yourself for the system that you've already built. I'll explain, right? So, even if you are somebody who knows how to code and you know how to program and build software, it still makes sense. If you want to turn that into business, it still makes sense for you to not provide a software first and just provide a service before you provide a software. So that's why we say service before software. Why? Because many people who are good at coding and building impressive software, they're not good at understanding people and their pain. And in whatever area that you're thinking of providing a software, if you actually provide a service without the software first, so that you could communicate with your clients, so that you could communicate with people and understand their pain and understand the specific solution that they're looking for, instead of the solution that you assume that they're looking for, this will save you a lot of pain, meaning that you will save a lot of time spending so much resources and money and time building a software that not many people are going to buy. If you start with a service and then you're in the field talking to people, and your clients are telling you exactly what they're looking for, and you provide a service for them to solve their problems, then when you develop the software, then it becomes easier to create a software that actually solves the issue that they're dealing with. And this goes back to what the definition of a business. I mean, what a business is made out of. A business is made out of three different areas, three different things that make a business. And if you understand this, you will have the right mindset to basically connect all of these three together, right? A business is made out of people with a pain looking for a solution. And when people want to start a business, they're really most one reason why many people don't succeed is because they are so in a rush to sell something that they focus on the solution without actually understanding the people and understanding the pain. Before you provide a solution, you need to be working so hard in studying the people and the pain. And guys, even in the age of AI, the best way to study the people and the pain is, even now with all of this information accessible, this best way to study the people and their pain has been what it has been forever, which is talk to them. It's a very traditional way of doing it, but this is still the best way, right? And the best way to talk to them is to actually start making content, start doing outreach, start getting your first free clients so you actually could talk to people, right? And that's how you become an expert in the people, understanding the people and understanding the pain before you become an expert in the solution. But one trick actually is to make your business about the pain that you're dealing with, because that will get you faster to the position where you are an expert in the pain. Because even if you have an audience of zero for a very long time, you still have an audience of one, which is yourself, and you understand this pain, and you could learn from solving your own problem, because you understand the people, because you have you as the people, and you understand the pain because you have that pain. So even with zero audience, if you solve your own pain, you are understanding the pain and understanding the people before you even talk to anybody. But as soon as you get some people, then you need to talk to them as well. And this is why service before software is so important. To create a service, a consulting service, or a coach, or a planner, an advisor, or whatever, before you actually start creating the software. And you might think this has nothing to do with me, Armin. I have no idea how to start a software. And that might be the topic of our next live stream. So subscribe if you're new here, because I will show you how easy it is these days to start a software. And we need to get on this because it's going to get easier very soon. And we want to be ahead of other people. We want to learn this before everybody else realizes how easy this is going to be. And in a world where everybody could just press a button and make the best software because AI will make that for you, then understand that at that point, people are not going to come for your software because it's the best software, because it has the best code, because it has the best buttons or the best tools, but because your philosophy is deeply ingrained in it. Your software will be your philosophy, and your philosophy is your brand. So your software is not just a tool that does something. Your software is a copy of your system, and your system is a copy of your philosophy, and your philosophy is a copy of you. So this is why personal branding in the future will become so important. So people will want your software not because it's the best, it has the best tools, but because it captures the way you look at things. Your marketing is your personal brand. Your personal brand is the reason why people trust you. This is how to stand out in the age of AI, by making personal connection with people. People will trust you and like you because they see eye to eye with you. They like what you're saying. They will buy your philosophy. They will accept your philosophy. Again, AI doesn't have a philosophy of its own. This is why human connection is important, because people relate with you and they like the way you look at the world. They like your perspective of the world. That's your personal brand. That's your philosophy. And the software, the reason why your software is going to be something they want is because your system within it has your philosophy on how to deal with health, or how to deal with relationships, or how to deal with work, whatever your service is about. Your system that you made for yourself, they want that. And then your software will be the gamification of your system. So your software will be you, an extension of you. Do you understand how powerful that is? I think this is my prediction. In the future, this is the main service. This is going to take the position of books and online courses. This is my prediction, right? And guys, this is not, your software is not just something that you sell. There are many things. Your software is also going to be something that you could use as a lead magnet, basically taking the place of books and online courses. You sell books, or you give free books away for your lead magnet to get people to come on to join your newsletter, to so that eventually you could basically turn them into paying clients, right? Same thing with online courses. They could offer, or webinars. But in the future, it's going to be the software that you provide to people, either as free as a lead magnet or as something that you will sell. And they could be personalized. So it could be your philosophy, but eventually we're going to be so good at making software and so fast that for every client you are going to tweak. Your session with them is going to be about tweaking it so that it meets their needs. So what you made for them is different from what you made for a different client that you have. And that's going to be the discussion that you're going to be having with each other about exactly what will fit what they need. And again, AI will write the code and you will do it. And let me tell you why this is going to be easy. Because, I mean, not easy as in, as it's easy to figure out what to do, but it's going to be hard because there's a lot of work to be done, right? So please understand, every time I say easy, I mean the path is clear, but the volume of work is going to be a lot. The reason why the path is clear is because we have already built a system. Forget about creating software for other people. We want to first make a software for you. And we went through knowing what we want to do, figuring out what the tasks required to move in that direction is, creating a system so that those tasks are there's a framework, there's a template, there's a step-by-step guide for the tasks that we do. Then we try to gamify our system. And now when you have all of these documents for ChatGPT, the instructions that you gave it to create a system for you and gamify it, you don't even need to figure out what software to make. You just take that system, you feed it back to AI, you turn this into an app. Turn my system into an app. And then it gives you an app. So instead of what you're trying to do is that instead of opening ChatGPT and talking to it when you go through every step of the way to finish your job, you want to have a very beautiful software with a lot of bells and whistles and progress bars and rewards and everything that is out there. You want to have a beautiful software. So instead of looking at a black screen with a chat box, you want to have a beautiful environment designed. You could have your own branding on it. You could have your own art on it to make it look like it's your thing, whatever design, right? You want to be in a more engaging environment so that every step of the way it feels more like a video game. A really easy to use, fun software to go through every step. And then the software that it gives you is not going to be good. And then you have to keep going back to ChatGPT or whatever tool you're using to make AI. I will show you actually some fun tools that you could experiment with, right? And maybe in the next live stream. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. What you want to do is make yourself a software, and then once it sucks, you keep telling ChatGPT exactly what it needs to fix so that it does the thing that you want it to do. It's not a give it a prompt and all of a sudden the software is what you want. There's a lot of steps in between. You could actually tell it to make a software. You could say that I want to make a software, but you need to provide me with the step-by-step guide on how we go from end to end to create the software, right? You need to tell ChatGPT to create a project for you from beginning to end, and then how to improve it. Tell ChatGPT once you give me the software, if I want to tell you what's wrong with it or how to improve it, what's the step for those? And eventually you get to a point where you have a software that is somewhat close to what you wanted or does the job. And now you have unlocked a skill on your skills tree, which is you have learned how to make software. And then eventually, when you are doing your consulting or providing a service to people and charging them, eventually you will, now that you have learned how to make a software for yourself, you also now turn your consulting business into a consulting slash SaaS business, which is again, these are the two areas of business that are the most scalable in service-based industries: consulting and SaaS. Do you understand how beautiful all of this is, how it all comes together? I hope you appreciate how beautiful this plan is. I see some haters in the chat. It's fine. So Tora saying, Armin, I'm installing Claude Code as we speak. And after I'll read Torah from my soul. Okay. And Torah saying, you're motivating me. I'll write this 1,000 times. Oh, thank you. That's good. All right. So we already hit 1 hour. I don't want to go longer. I hope you guys appreciate how, again, I don't think many of you would appreciate it, but I'm recording this, and I don't know if you guys understand what I just said, but because this is very significant. This is the way. But what I'm going to do now that this has been recorded and is now online, I am going to come back to it, I don't know, maybe 4 years from now. Whoever my audience is at that point, I'm going to show them, look what I said, because look how correct I was, right? Because the thing that I'm trying to predict, that I am predicting, and you will see it, right, is that consulting, the line between consulting and SaaS is going to get blurrier and blurrier. And this is going to be a huge opportunity for people who are entering into a service based industry, for all of them to actually take advantage of the entire world of SaaS businesses, which is a giant industry. And it's going to open the door for a lot of you. There's a lot of money to be made here, right? And also how lead magnets and books and online courses, many of them are going to turn into, the next generation of that is going to be apps and software that people offer. Everybody, like most consulting businesses are just going to have, oh, by the way, this service comes with this app, this service comes with this software. Like, oh, this is what I do and we have a software for it, this is what we do and we have an app for it. Everybody and their dog is going to have an app. Everybody and their dog is going to have 100 apps, right? I mean, the future is the world of humans talking to each other while getting AI to do the software in the background. The future. So figuring out how to create systems and getting AI to do the background coding for it to create those systems for us is basically the way of the future. And this is how we're evolving. This is the way I explained it to you. This is the intermediate step. This is basically the step in between. If you guys are funny in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna head out. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification, because the things that I'm telling you is, if you I know a lot of you guys are new here in the area of business, but if you were familiar with all the content that I'm studying, and I hope as we grow with each other, you become more familiar with it, you would have a good understanding of how profound all of this is and what that potentially means for you. And I hope more people, at least a few people, are motivated to pick up on the tips that I'm giving you on this channel, because it's going to be so late if you fall behind just a little bit, because everything is changing so incredibly fast. And with just a little bit of hard work and a little bit of an audience, you are going to be able to change your life significantly. You don't need to have like, guys, it only takes getting to 10 clients to be able to have a meaningful increase in your income. And then eventually, when you have 10 clients, you will realize how easy it is to scale it. Easy as in knowing the path again, not that that work is not hard, to get from 10 to 100. And if you have 10 clients, that means, so if you get your first client, then you have to understand that, okay, I am able to get clients. If I could get one client, that means I should be able to figure out a way to get 10 clients. But there's not that much of a difference between getting your first client and getting 10 clients. And then once you get 10 clients, you're basically now have a really good increase in your income. But here's the thing, when you get your client number 10, then client number 10 means that you have figured out a way, you have mastered the process of getting new clients. And if you know how to get to 10 clients, now you just need to systematize all of this and get from 10 clients to 100 clients. You need to scale it. And when you get to 100 clients, you've made it. It's game over. You're done. All right. So I hope I motivated enough of you guys to take advantage of all of this technology that is coming our way.